What is your job and how much do you get paid? Entrepreneur, negative 10K per year. I work in a steel mill that heats steel bars to a certain hardness. I get paid $18 an hour and so far we haven't had anyone die for a year. That's a record. Work for a family of iron foundries. We had our first death in my 11 years here 2 years ago and it was awful. The death itself was not particularly gruesome, but the crap around it was. It was not our employee, it was a Tom. He was doing something he shouldn't and was pinned by a casting and had a heart attack before he could be released. We notified the temp agency who refused to either contact his family or allow us to do the same. We didn't have that information made available to us. They didn't find out until the next day. They are of course our ex-temp agency. The family was rightly super pissed. This just adds to my hatred of temp agencies. I'm a line cook manager for a busy restaurant, and I get paid $19 an hour plus tip share plus profit share from 2 recipes of mine on the menu. That's so awesome, you get a chunk of $ for your very own menu recipes. I feel like that should be a standard, especially nowadays with restaurants struggling to not have a revolving door staff. Congrats to you. Glad you got a job that sounds high stress, but you manage well, and have a respectful boss on top it. CDL truck driver doing roll-off dumpsters, $4.20 per hour. I do whatever needs to be done around the warehouse that doesn't require a forklift. $19 an hour. Any reason you don't have a forklift license? If there is no medical reason, seems like a good way to boost your pay rate once experienced. I'm actually in the same position. I'm a still operator, but I do a lot around the plant as long as it doesn't involve forklift. I can get forklift certified anytime I want, but it seems like every time someone gets fired here, it involves a forklift. No thanks. Officer on a container ship, work about 6 months out of the year and make about $120K. For the most part my job is looking out a window at some waves. Do you enjoy what you do? If I could go back I think this is what I'd want. But I would imagine work-life balance is awful, having a family if applicable. I do enjoy it. Just being on the water is relaxing. It's better as a young single guy not really having any expenses and then being off with no commitments for a few months at a time. I don't plan on doing it forever as having a family would be difficult. Just doing it for enough years to experience things and set myself up early with no debts and maybe a house. Private jet captain. Varies with overtime, but this year will be around $360,000. Well damn. Hell yeah. Sounds like you are trying to become a jet captain? Electrical substation design engineer. $126,000 a year. I'm surprised to find my job this far up in the thread. Unfortunately, I'm at $75,000, working on getting my PELO, which should put me at just over $100,000. Master of the Custodial Arts, $17.50 each. Some men just want to watch the world sparkle, always undervalued. Thanks for being there. I work at a recycling plant. I get $35 an hour to stand at a conveyor belt picking out glass. I work at a recycling plant as a chemist. I analyze our incoming and outgoing material for base and precious metals content. I am one of 2 people in the lab and am effectively in charge, as it's no secret the lab manager is looking for a new job and is absent many days. I get paid $20 per hour. I have seen videos of people doing that. It's not as easy as you made it sound. Lol, you are humble. Those belts look like they are going super freaking fast and a lot of people do not know how to recycle properly. Medical coder. Make $31 per hour, about $65K annually. Is that the same as medical coding and billing? With the ICD-10 codes and all that? Not op, but also medical coder. Yes, that's what it is. Often you can be one or the other or both. I just do medical coding so I don't interact with any patients. NYC roll-off dumpster driver under a Teamster union contract. $40 an hour in January plus medical and pension paid 100% by my employer. There's guaranteed overtime too, so gross around $130,000 plus the other perks. We also get a $100K severance payout the day we retire. I have a bachelor's in business, but fell in love with being outside all day. I also sell scrap metal if I can collect it, and I have a thriving eBay business from other things I find in the dumpsters. Made another 20-25K doing that on the side. I'm obsessed with dumpster diving. What's the nicest merch you've found? I've been selling high-end electronics like crazy. Found a 1600 watt power supply I flipped for $1,300. Currently selling a batch of Bluetooth chip readers that I've made $7,000 so far, and I'm negotiating the rest for $6,000 right now. I also have a poster signed by deceased pop artist Roy Lichtenstein that I have hanging on my wall. I had it authenticated and reframed. It's worth about $5,000, but I'm not selling it. Paraprofessional at an elementary school in a classroom with students who have autism. I get paid $19.70 an hour plus a $70 monthly stipend for helping the kids with toilet duties. As the father of an autistic son, you should be getting paid way fricking more for this. Thank you for helping children like mine. I work at a small tech company doing any random thing they want. I make $90K. Any technical expertise? Google. Air ambulance pilot. Helicopter. $80,000 a year. Dude, you're being underpaid. We know. I fly initial attack wildfire cruise water bucket and fly in the Arctic during the winter for the same amount of money. Job's cool and fun at least. Teacher in Zimbabwe. $150 per month. Air traffic controller. Around $100,000. I've heard that's a super stressful job. Any truth to that? Day to day, it is surprisingly routine. The real stress comes from internal politics, some external too, frequently changing rules that make zero sense, and shift work. It can also get stressful during bad weather and emergencies. I'm a bum and get $120 a week donating plasma, but plot twist, I have an interview at the plasma place tomorrow. Best comment here. Good luck, homie. Ups pack a guest order at a warehouse. $22 an hour plus time and a half pay for anything over 5-hour shift in a single day. So for example, one shift is 5 hours. If I work 2 shifts in a row, the second one would be $33 an hour. Unlimited overtime too, so if I really wanted to, I could triple shift every day for an entire week. That would be like 15 hours straight every day working though, and get a month's worth of money in a single check. I'm quite small. Circa 120 lbs, 5 feet 1 female, but I was looking into this job. Do you think it's something I'd be able to do? I know that's very subjective, but I guess what I mean is, what's the heaviest you typically have to lift move? Yes, they probably wouldn't have you lifting irregular packages above 50 lbs. However, the job described above are pretty desirable and people are waiting for this guy to retire to take it. Most people in a UPS hub are part-time. It still comes with good benefits though. Professor, STEM, $85, $105K per year depending on grants I bring in. You wouldn't happen to be the Professor Eggplant Wizard 12 that I have heard so much about? Restaurant manager for a well-known restaurant. $75,000 base salary and $25,000 in annual bonuses. You mean like Hooters? I have no idea what you mean by bistro, and if it's not that, LMAO. I'm ashamed to say my first thought was breakfast restaurant lol. I suppose it's a cafe. I'm here scouting for jobs with good pay. Me too. Not having super reassurance. EMT 15 per hour. The real tragedy of our times. Jobs like this are so undervalued. Save a dude's life in the back of the ambulance. $15 per hour. Own the ambulance. $1,500 per trip. College student. Get paid $-20K. I am a paraprofessional in an elementary school. I spent most of my time in a self-contained kindergarten 5th grade classroom of mostly nonverbal students with autism. Occasionally I float to other classrooms. I make around $20K a year. I love my job, but the pay is insulting. You can mow lawns and make more than that : I like how Reddit is the place where $100K a year and $4/hour people meet. I think, outside the Chinese restaurant, this is the only place these two groups meet. It's always nice to see the higher paid users appreciate the work of and offer advice to the lower paid users in the same fields, especially when that advice is you're underpaid. Do this to fix it. Solidarity among colleagues. Drive yard truck for Walmart. Make 10K a month or 120K a year. I watched a video about trucking where the guy said that Walmart was one of the greatest companies to work for as a trucker. Is that so? Very true. Many ODR drivers make over 6 figures and still go home every night. I don't go off property. I stay in the yard and just move trailers all day. Base pay is $30 an hour for me, but I also work 30 HRS extra OT a week at $43.55. On top of that, we get $500 bounce every 2 weeks. I'm unsure of benefits of ODR drivers, but they do make crazy money. On the other hand, they are also held to a higher standard than most other ODR drivers out there. They run a very healthy, but tight ship. Trucks are maintained great and always have new tech logistics-wise. I'm not a truck driver, I just move the trailers in a 2021 Auto Car Spotter. Street magician. It depends. Location and season are the biggest factors. I can make anywhere from $300 to $3,000 a week. Artificial intelligence computer vision. About $230,000. Same field, same pay. I wonder if we work for the same company. You guys are in autonomous vehicles, aren't you? I'm a farmer. My earnings are flirting with the breadline, but I have very little bills and my life is overall very happy and fulfilling. It's not much, but it's honest work. How did you get into that field?